Hello everyone. So today I wanted to do my last summer 5-minute episode on a topic that I thought was really important as we transition into the fall, and as I kind of did a new little intro to my podcast just a couple weeks back, actually last week I think it was. So this is the second week I'll be using my new intro. And the reason I did this new intro is because I wanted to kind of introduce the podcast in a new way to explain a little bit about why I do so much kind of like time management related episodes in addition to money management and saving money type episodes, because sometimes I just wonder if people are thinking, this is a frugal living podcast. Why is she talking so much about time management? Because I love to talk about time management and meal planning and getting things done in your home and cleaning tasks and all these other things that we have to do in our life. And the reason why is because when I started learning about frugality and listening to a lot of different frugal podcasts and listening to books and just kind of starting to gather information, I just really loved the whole idea of being so intentional with how you use your money so that you can use your money in ways that are, most in line with your values, and so that you can do what you really love to do to the best that you can with the money that you have. And when I started doing all of that and really thinking about it, it really just naturally led into doing the same thing with your time. Because if anything, your time is even more important than your money management. I mean, they're both really, really important. But if you just think just in terms of living your life, it's so important to manage your time, because that's what you have. That's your life. I mean, your time is your life. So you want to use it wisely, just like you want to use your money wisely. So I think that living a frugal lifestyle to me is not only specifically tied to money, it's your money and your time. It's using both of them intentionally and getting the most out of both of them that you can. So I really wanted to kind of introduce that in the beginning of this podcast so that people understand where I'm going with that idea and why I have so many episodes on, prioritizing your to-do list, or, how to be more intentional with your time, or how to limit distractions in your day, or all those other types of topics that I've covered. I wanted to kind of clarify that, because to me, living a frugal lifestyle is not just about money. It's a whole lifestyle. It's prioritizing the two most important things that you have to prioritize, which are your time and your money. So I just wanted to make that clear and kind of maybe have you think about that if you haven't been thinking about it before, because you don't want to be wasting your time, just like you don't want to be wasting your money. Sometimes I'll sit there and, I'll sit down for a minute. Maybe I get tired and I sit down and I take a break and I pick up my phone and I click on Facebook and I'm scrolling and scrolling. And then I'll suddenly think, like, what am I doing with my time right now? It's fine if there's, it's fine. I'm not saying that Facebook is bad, but there's times when I don't even really know what I'm looking at. I'm just kind of scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And I'm like, what am I doing? And it's just kind of like if you were just kind of spending your money, like on just random junk that didn't really matter to you. It kind of feels the same way when I find myself sitting there just wasting time in a way that isn't useful to me. If I'm going to sit there because I need rest or to relax or something, I'd rather put on something that I really enjoy watching, or maybe pick up the book that I'm reading, or put on a podcast that I love. But I don't want to just sit there and zone out and just keep swiping my finger on my phone, mindlessly looking at Facebook, when it's not even, usually when I find myself in that mode, it's kind of like not even something that I even care about. I'm almost just kind of swiping and looking at all this nonsense. It doesn't even really matter. So, it's things like that that just make me remember how important it is to manage our time and to make sure that we're doing things with our time that are important to us. Because so often we can get busy with all these little things and feel like we need to keep up on everything and get everything done all the time. And then we just keep doing and doing, And guess what? There's always more to do. No matter how much you get done, no matter how great you are at trying to do all the things, there's always going to be more. So it's really important to make sure you're taking time to do the things that you enjoy. And, go work in your garden if you like to do that, or go swimming, or go float on a raft, or I don't know, go to the park, whatever you love to do, sit and read. Just making sure you're prioritizing your time so you can use as much of it as possible on what you value the most. So that's why I just created this new intro for the podcast that you'll hear from now on, or at least for as long until I decide maybe I want to change it up again. But I just wanted to really kind of put that message out there and tie that in, that I really feel that the purpose of this podcast is to talk about topics that not only discuss money management, but time management too, because I think they're both really important to living a whole frugal lifestyle. So that's it for today. This is the last of my quick little summer episodes. We will get back into the regular length episodes next week, which honestly aren't really that much longer. My episodes are usually 15 to 20 minutes if you're new here. So I don't do super lengthy episodes. Sometimes they go a little bit longer if it's a topic that I find myself just not being able to stop talking about. But generally they're not too long. But we will start the normal length episodes next week as we get into September. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you here next week. So thank you for checking in for this podcast episode. And don't forget, you can always email me with any questions or suggestions at lolasfrugallife@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at lolasfrugallife. And you can find a blog post for most of my episodes and definitely all of my meal plan episodes at lolasfrugallife.com. You can also join our private listeners group at facebook.com/groups/lolasfrugallife. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen from. And I would love it if you would screenshot the show and tag me on Instagram so I could see you're listening. Also, if you can please take a couple of seconds to rate and review the podcast. Those ratings and reviews are what help the show come up better in search results so that other people can find this podcast. So that will really help me in growing my audience. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an awesome day.